Have you ever gotten that feeling when you click into a tutorial for how to do some crazy awesome magic trick? You saw the performance and it was absolutely breathtaking, but then you look at how the trick was done and you realize, man, I cannot do that. So today I'm going to teach you a magic trick that literally anyone can perform. It's easy, there's no setup, and it takes basically no sleight of hand to do it. So grab a deck of cards and let's get started. So the trick is started out with the deck being shuffled. And now the magician is going to go through the cards and look for the 4 aces. So now the magician has the 4 aces and he's going to put them down one at a time. Just like that. Now the magician is also going to say that he's going to put 3 random cards on each of the aces. And just to clarify, these are legit random cards, so don't worry. So the magician deals 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 cards on each of the aces. Now we don't need the deck for the rest of the trick, so I'm just gonna put it to the side. Now the audience can tell me which piles to pick up first, but since I don't have an audience, I'm just gonna pick it up in a random order, just like that. Now because we picked up all the piles this way, the deck goes like this. Random card, random card, random card, ace. 1, 2, 3, ace. 1, 2, 3, ace. 1, 2, 3, ace. So I'm gonna deal down all these cards, which goes like 1, 2, 3, ace, right? Now that's an ace. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, ace. 1, 2, 3, ace. 1, 2, 3, ace. Just like that. Now what we have here is 1, 2, 3 piles of random cards, and now we have this pile of aces. Now talking about random cards, we're actually gonna get rid of these 2 piles of random cards because we really don't need them for the rest of the trick. So now we have these random cards right here, and then these aces right here. Now what if I told you that if I switch the places of this ace and the 3 of hearts like this, it would actually make the aces and the random cards teleport and switch spots. Now, of course, you don't believe me because I haven't snapped my fingers and waved my hand over all the cards, because now you can actually see that these aces right here are no longer the aces. They're now random cards. And these random cards are no longer random cards. Now these are the aces. So what you're going to do first is you're going to search the deck for the 4 aces. And as you can see, I already collected the 4 aces, so I don't have to waste more of your time. So then what you're going to do is you're going to put the 4 aces down like that onto the table. And then you're going to say, I'm going to put 3 random cards on each of the cards. And these are legit random cards, like I said before. Now you can tell the audience that they can pick up any of the piles in any order. So let's say they pick up this one first, and then they pick up this one first, and then they pick up this one first, and then this one last. So you're gonna tell the audience, because we picked up the cards that way, the deck goes like this. Random card, random card, random card, ace. And then after that, you want to count out 1, 2, 3, ace. 1, 2, 3, ace. 1, 2, 3, ace. The 1, 2, 3, ace gets it into their head. So now when you deal them out, you can go 1, 2, 3, ace. Now when you deal the first 4 cards onto the table, these are random cards, and then this will be an ace. Now after you do that, you're gonna point with the top card to the ace and tell them that this is the ace. Now while they're looking at the ace, they're gonna withdraw the card, and instead of putting it on the top, you're gonna sneakily put it on the bottom, like that. That is literally the only sleight of hand in this trick. So then you're gonna carry on with the counting. 1, 2, 3, ace. But instead, this is not an ace. This is a random card, and the aces are actually going to be dealt in here because you switched up the order by putting the top card on the bottom. And then you keep doing this. 1, 2, 3, ace. 1, 2, 3, ace, like that. And then you're going to tell them that you don't need these 2 piles right here because they aren't relevant to us at the moment. So then you're going to be dealing with what they think is the random cards and what they think is the aces, but it's actually switched around. Then you're gonna say, now we have the random cards, and as you're gesturing towards the random cards, you're gonna pull out the bottom card, which is a random card, amongst all the aces that you put down sneakishly. So you're gonna pull out the bottom card and put it there, and then you're gonna put the rest of the pack down, and then you're gonna gesture to the aces, and then do the same thing that you just did. Grab the bottom card, which is an ace, among the random cards. And then you're gonna say something like, well, I'm gonna switch the cards, which means that the piles switch, but obviously you don't believe me because you know that these are the aces and these are the random cards and etc. But then you're going to go over to what they think is the aces, and you're going to reveal that the aces are gone. And revealing these cards first is actually a way better idea than revealing these cards, because then it gives the crazy effect that the aces just disappeared without you doing anything to them. So then you're going to put the random cards with each other, and then you're going to reveal that the random cards have changed into the aces as well.
Today, we're going to learn how to read 5 minds. This may sound hard, but it's actually one of the easiest tricks I know, and it's a super fun party trick that is very fun and engaging for your audience. So without further ado, let's get on with this trick. Now usually I'll do a performance and then go straight to the tutorial, but because of how the trick works, I'm going to go right to the tutorial to make things a lot more easier for everyone. So for the trick, what you'll need is a deck of cards, and you don't have to have a full deck of cards, but you'll need to pull out 5 key cards that will be easy for you to remember. I usually do, and I usually recommend using the 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10 of hearts for this trick. Now before the trick starts, you're going to have those key cards on top of the deck like so. Oh, and by the way, these are James Bond cards, and if you really want them, check the link down in the description where you can buy one. This isn't a sponsor, I just think these are really cool cards, and I'm a really big fan of James Bond. And now you have the trick set up and ready, so now you're going to go up and grab 5 people for the trick, and they're going to be the spectators for the rest of the trick. So what you're going to do is you're going to start off by shuffling the deck. This will look like it's being mixed up, but in reality, you're going to keep the those cards up on the top just like that, so you don't mess up that setup that you have at the top. You can even do some false cuts like that if you really want to. If you don't know any false cuts, I'll leave a link to a video where you can learn them at the end of the trick. Now what you're going to do next is you're going to ask one of your spectators to deal out 5 piles of 5 cards. Now while you're saying that, you're going to actually start out. So what you're going to do is you're then going to say 5 piles of 5 cards like that. You're going to have one of the spectators deal it out like that, and then you're going to give them the cards and so on and so forth. Now it's better to just put out these cards at the beginning, because you never know how your spectator will deal, because sometimes they'll deal like this and then like sometimes they'll deal like this, but it's important that you deal out first so that the key cards are there for your audience to begin with. So then you're going to hand the deck over to your audience and just tell them, hey, now you can deal out those cards, and you can tell them that they can deal from anywhere from the deck. They can do that, and it won't ruin the trick at all. You just got to make sure that there are 5 piles of 5 cards in each pile. So you just do that, and then you're going to move on. Okay, so after you're done doing that, you don't need the rest of these cards. You're only going to be focusing on these ones. Now you're going to be explaining to your audience, and while you do this, you're actually going to shuffle up each of the piles in your hand of it. This won't ruin the setup that you have, and it'll make it more appealing for your audience. But as you're doing that, you're going to explain to them that each of their piles, they're going to memorize a card from. And after you're done shuffling those piles in with each other and such, what you then can do is you're going to go to the first spectator, you're going to grab their pile, and you're just going to allow them to look at the cards. For the tutorial, we are looking at the cards. So let's say they pick an obvious one. Let's say they pick the Ace of Spades. So you're going to tell them to remember their card, and to not tell anyone their card at all throughout the rest of the trick. Don't even write it down, don't whisper it to your friend, don't do any of that. Just remember their card, lock it into their mind, and never tell anyone. So in this case, they'll think of the Ace of Spades, and because I have absolutely terrible memory, I'm going to write it down on this piece of paper right here. All right, like that. And then you can just allow them to shuffle up the pack even more. This will not hurt the trick, and it'll make it even more appealing for the audience. This part is actually what can sometimes fool magicians, because you are giving the cards to your audience to shuffle, which is a big no-no in magic. You're then going to do that for the 4 next spectators, for them just to pick a card in their mind like that, like the 10 of clubs, shuffle it up, and then they shuffle it up and stuff. Now after you're done letting the 5th spectator pick their card and stuff, you're then going to ask each of the spectators to just do some final shuffles and then just put them to the center of the table. So they'll do that, and then you're going to ask one of the spectators to then just pick which pile they want me to pick up first. So let's say they let me to pick up this one, and then this one, and then this one, this one, and then this one. This will just make it mixed up a bit more and more appealing for your audience. Now with this pack of cards, you don't want to mess with it. You don't want to cut it. You don't want to false cut it. You don't want to shuffle it at all. All of those will make it suspicious and will probably ruin the trick. So what you're going to do is you're going to deal them out in columns like this. And as you're doing that, you're going to tell them this. Now I have shuffled the pack. I have dealed you out cards. I didn't even deal out the cards actually. And you then picked your own cards that you wanted and thought of them. You didn't even tell anyone. That you then shuffled up your own piles, and then we mixed all those piles together into what we have now and what I am dealing out right now. And now you're going to ask the first spectator where their card was. And because it's the ace of spades, their card is going to be right here. Now, we don't know that, obviously. So the way we're going to do this is the first spectator had the 2 of hearts. They had the 2 of hearts as their key card. That was their key card. What you're then going to do is you're going to find that key card, which is the 2 of hearts right here, and then you're going to navigate to the column that they point to. Sorry, I meant to clarify. You're going to ask them to point to a column of where their card is. And because their card is the ace of spades, they'd point right here. So then you're going to navigate from the 2 of hearts to the right to their column. And then you'll see that it's the ace of spades. And this is how you'll find their card each time. And after you do this, you're then going to say, after all of that stuff that we went through, I know that the first spectator's card is the ace of spades. And when you say it like that, everyone is going to wig out and lose their minds, and they're going to be flabbergasted. And now for the next spectator, who has the 10 of clubs, which is right here, they're going to point, obviously, to this column right here. Now, since they had the 4 of hearts this time, which is right here, you're then going to navigate to their column. Oh, it's the 10 of clubs. You're going to tell them, oh, your card is the 10 of clubs. You're then going to move to the third spectator, who got the jack of hearts, which the jack of hearts is right here. And for them, they had the 6 of hearts, which is right here. You're then going to navigate to the column that they pointed to, which is the jack of hearts. You're going to reveal it to them. You're then going to do that same process for the next 2 spectators until you have officially read, quote unquote, read their minds. Now what I have here is a deck of cards, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just give them a bit of a mix-up just to make the deck a bit more random for this trick. And I'll even show you the deck as well, that it is also random. And if the spectator is not satisfied enough, they can even give the deck a few cuts if they ever so desire. So what's going to happen is I'm going to have the spectator call stop whenever they want when I ruffle through the cards like that. So let's say they stop right here, okay? We're going to take the look at the top 2 cards, and those top 2 cards will be your cards, okay? So I'm not going to look. Those are the cards. They'll be posted on the screen if you forget them. So those are the cards that we will be using for the rest of the trick. All right, we're going to put them back into the middle, okay? And if the spectator wants to mix them in, they can as well. It doesn't matter how much times they cut the deck, it just matters that they cut the deck. So what's going to happen now is I'm going to split this deck into 2 halves, and the best way to do that is to just deal them out like this. Alright, now the decks are dealed out, and what's going to happen now is I'm going to just shuffle them in a very weird way. We're going to shuffle them up and down just like that. And now the cards are being mixed in up and down just like that in a very messy way. Now what I'm going to do is I want you to think of your cards, okay? I want you to think of your cards. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to snap my fingers. You can actually see that all the cards that are currently face up are all black. You can screenshot this if you want and go through the cards
and you can confirm that these are all black except for one, and that is the Queen of Diamonds. And I bet that was one of your cards. Now, you had one more, and now we went to the black side, so let's snap our fingers again. And this time, all these face-up cards are now red, with one black card, and that is the Seven of Spades. Just like that. Now that magic trick that I just showed you will take you 5 minutes to learn. It took me 5 minutes to learn. It'll definitely take you 5 minutes to learn. Now, if you have any questions about magic tricks and how to perform them, or a certain concept that you want me to go over, leave something down in the comments and I will answer you, and I will do my best to make a video about that concept or question that you have. So make sure you leave something down in the comments, and let's get right into today's tutorial. Now, all you need for this trick is a deck of cards, but make sure you have 52 cards in this deck, or else the trick won't work. So what you're gonna do is you're going to take your deck of cards with 52 cards in them, and what you're going to do is you're going to put them in alternating order of black, red, black, red, black, red, black, red, just like this. I'll give you a moment to pause the video and do that. Now you're going to come up to your spectator and you're going to tell them you're going to mix up the cards, and to do that you're just going to cut the cards just like that, one at a time, and make sure it is one at a time. If you go triple like this, the trick will be messed up and your setup will be messed up. Just make sure you go one at a time. This will not mess up your setup, and your alternating black and red combination will not be messed up. Now in the performance, I did some false shuffles and cuts, and if you want to learn how to do that, click the link right here. Now after you're done mixing up the cards, what you're going to do is you're going to say, I'm going to riffle through the cards like this, and if you don't know how to riffle, you can just do that, but you're going to riffle through the cards and you're going to tell the spectator to stop where they want you to stop. Let's say they stop right here. You're then going to say the top 2 cards that you stopped at will be your cards. Now, here's something very important. What you're going to do is you're going to take the top card, and then you're going to slide over the second card. You're going to place this first card under the second card, like this. What this does is it reverses the order of the cards, which means that it will get out of the red, black, red, black, red, black, which will be very important for later. Now in the trick, you won't look at the cards, but for the tutorial, we will. So in this case, it is the 6 of clubs and the 3 of diamonds. Okay, so I'll put them on the screen in case you forget them. So those are the cards. Now, after these 2 cards are reversed, what you're gonna do is you're gonna put them back into the middle where they were from. You can tell the spectator to cut the cards, and they can do this, it doesn't matter. They can do it as many times as they want. Just make sure they're singular cuts like before, otherwise the trick will be ruined. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna split the cards into 2 even piles. And you're gonna say the best way to do this is to just deal them out. And when you deal them out, make sure you go back and forth just like this. All right, so now after you have these piles right here, what you'll see is, because you alternated, you'll actually see a bunch of the same color, except for one card, which will be the spectator's card. This happens because you reverse the card, and instead of a black card going here, it was a red card. And the same goes for this pile right here, like that. The 6 of clubs is the only black card in this red thing, and the 3 of diamonds is the only red card in this black pile. You're obviously not going to tell your audience this, because it would mess up the trick. Now what you're gonna do now is you're gonna say, I'm gonna mess up the cards a bit. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna flip one face up like this, and you're gonna riffle shuffle them together. If you don't know how to riffle shuffle, I'd recommend clicking the link right here to learn how to do it. When you riffle shuffle these cards, you wanna shuffle them very fast, otherwise they'll see all the black cards in this pack right here. So make sure you shuffle them very fast like this, so they don't see a thing. Now, you're then going to push them in, and kind of just say they are now being mixed up into the pile, just like that. Now you're going to tell the spectator to think of their cards in their mind for a minute. And then after that, you're going to snap your fingers, and you're going to spread out the cards, and you're going to say that all these cards are black. The face-up cards are black, except for one, and that is the 3 of diamonds. And I believe that is your card, and they will be absolutely baffled at what you just did. And then you're going to say, wait a minute. That's not it, because you had another card, right? And you're gonna snap your fingers. All of these cards will be red, except for one,
And that is the 6 of clubs, which is their card.
Have you ever tried to learn a really cool magic trick, but it always goes wrong because that one sleight of hand in that magic trick is just too hard to perform? But fear not, I have a magic trick that takes no sleight of hand. It's a really good magic trick, and literally anyone can learn it. And to show you that it's a really good magic trick, let me show you the performance. Now to start off, I'm gonna give this deck a bit of a shuffle, okay? I can even allow the spectator to shuffle the cards. Now, I'm actually gonna allow the spectator to cut anywhere they want, okay? So let's say they cut like right about here. Doesn't matter, they can cut the deck. Does not matter the place. And I'm gonna finish the cut like this, and we're gonna take a look at the top 2 cards, and these cards will determine what the spectator's card will be. So in this case, it's a king and a 7, okay? Now, I'm gonna deal the values of each of these. Now, since the king is a face down, face card, in this little game trick, we are going to say that the king, queen, jack are all 10s. They represent 10, and then the 7 represents 7, as you know. So I'm gonna deal 7 cards down, just like this. 4, 5, 6, 7, and then I'm gonna deal 10 cards right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like that. And now we're gonna take the sum of these two, which is 17, and we're gonna count from 17 to 20, okay? And that's how you're gonna find your card. So 18, 19, 20, and the 20th card is gonna be your card. So in this case, the 20th card, I'm not gonna look, is this card. I promise I'm not looking. This is gonna be your card, okay? Now, what I'm gonna do now is we're gonna lose your card back into the middle of the deck. We're gonna take all of these other cards right here, and we are going to place it in the middle of the pack, just like that. And this is very truly in the middle of the pack. I'm not keeping any breaks whatsoever. It's not the top card, and nor it is the bottom card, few cards either. So just to keep that in mind. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna deal a face-up card pile and a face-down card pile. And if you see your card in the face-up pile, the spectator would say stop, okay? So we're gonna deal it down, and I want you to tell me when to stop. Okay, so now the spectator wouldn't say stop here because I don't think they saw their card. So we're gonna keep going with this face down pile. We're gonna keep dealing down. All right, I'm guessing you didn't see your card there either, so we're gonna keep going. All right, I'm guessing you didn't see your card there. We're gonna keep going one more time. All right, now we have gone through basically the entire deck, which is 49 cards here, and here is 49 cards, and these are 3 cards. Now, I'm gonna put these down onto the table. I can mix them up a bit, it doesn't matter, and I'm gonna allow the spectator to choose 2 cards. Let's say they choose these ones, okay? We're gonna keep these 2 right here that they picked, and we're gonna get rid of this one, which was the Ace of Hearts. Now, I'm gonna get rid of 1 card, or the spectator's gonna get rid of 1 card. Let's say they pick this one right here, okay? They pick this one, okay? We're gonna get rid of this one, okay? And now we have gone through a shuffled deck. I cut the cards, well, they cut the cards actually, and we got your card. We put it back into the middle of the deck, and we did the thing where face up, face down, face up, face down, and it didn't appear in the face up pile at all. And yet we are now left with your card, which is the 3 of clubs. Now this trick is a very fun trick to perform, and it's really easy. It doesn't take any setup or sleight of hand, and it's a really fun trick to perform. Okay, stop, because I almost forgot to mention that you need 52 cards to perform this trick. If you don't have 52 cards in this deck, the trick will not work. So make sure you have 52 cards. Anyway, let's get back to the video. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start out with a shuffled deck. Okay, it can be even a borrowed deck. Now, after you're done shuffling, you can allow the spectator to cut anywhere they want, and this is a true cut. They can cut anywhere they want. Just say where they cut is gonna determine where, what your card is. So then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take the top 2 cards, of the deck. So in this case, it's a queen and a 7. So now you're gonna do this thing, and this is all math. So this is a math problem, but you won't have to do any math really. So you're gonna say that all the face cards equal 10, aces equal 1, if you, out of curiosity, if you really wanted to. And then, 7s equal 7s. So then you're gonna do is you're gonna say, I'm going to deal the value of these cards. So let's say we do 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And to make for a better effect of this trick, I'd recommend kind of dealing out these cards kind of fanned out like that, so they see that that's 7 cards. And then you're going to deal out 10 cards for this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And as you can see, I fanned it out so they can see. And you're going to tell them that we're going to count from the sum of these two. So 10 plus 7 equals 17. You're going to count from 17 to 20. So you're going to do 18, 19, 20. And the 20th card is going to be their card. Now for the performance, you're not going to look at it, but for the tutorial, we are. So it is the 9 of hearts. And then you're going to say, we're going to put your card back into the middle of the deck. And you're going to do this in a very specific way. You're going to gather up all these cards here. You're going to gather up all the other cards that are on the table, except for these ones, which is the main pack. You're going to put them all together, and then you're going to put their card on the bottom of this pack. And what it does is it puts their card in exactly 22nd position. And in the 22nd position, what that means is mathematically, it'll be last if you're doing face up, face down. So you gotta remember it is in the 22nd position. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna say, we're gonna deal a face up pile and a face down pile. And if you see your card in the face up pile, then you say stop, okay? And what you're gonna do, and this is very important, what you're gonna do is you're going to deal face up each time first. If you deal face down first, they're gonna see their card. But if you deal face up first, they will not see their card. So you wanna deal face up first every time. And they're gonna say stop whenever they see their card. And by the end of it, they won't see their card. All right, so after you do that, they probably didn't say stop. If they did say stop, you probably messed up the trick. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna say, okay, you didn't see it in here, so we're gonna keep going with the face down deck. You're gonna grab the face down deck. Again, you're gonna deal face up first, and then you're gonna keep going. And then after that, you're gonna ask them if they saw their card at all. They're gonna say no, obviously. And then you're gonna keep going. Remember, face up first. Now what you're gonna say is we're gonna do this one more time. And if you don't see your card, we're gonna do something else. You're gonna do that. You're gonna do face up first, like always. And then if you deal 3 cards down, just like that, you're good to go. Now, when you take these 3 cards, you're going to immediately know that the center card right here is always going to be their selection. In this case, it's going to be the 9 of hearts, and it is actually the 9 of hearts. So just always keep in mind that the center card is their selection. It's going to be very important for what's going to happen right now. So what you're going to do is you're going to deal down the 3 cards kind of like this, and you're going to mix them around. You're going to I'm going to mix them around, and make sure you keep track of their card, okay? So now it's right here. Then you're gonna say we're gonna play a little game, and I want you to choose 2 cards from the 3. Okay, let's say they choose these 2. Now these 2 this card is their selection, and this one is not. Now this is a fun thing called Magician's Choice. And if you already know how to do Magician's Choice, this part of the trick will be fairly easy for you to understand. So what you're gonna do is if they choose these 2, which is one of them is their selection, you're gonna say, okay, we're gonna keep these. We're gonna get rid of this one. You see what I did there? So I say they chose these 2. All right. Then you're gonna say, okay, we're gonna get rid of these. And then you can reveal to them that this was their selection. Okay. Now let's say they choose these 2, and you're gonna keep those, get rid of this one. And what you want to do to make a better effect is to just deal it up, face up, to show that that wasn't their card, and the magic is working. And it's a really fun, like small detail that you can do in that trick. And then you're gonna say, okay, now I want you to choose 1 card from here. Let's say they choose this one. You're gonna say you're gonna keep this, and we're gonna toss this one. You're gonna deal it up, face up, And then you're gonna say, okay, we've gone through a shuffles, it's your deck if you borrowed it, and you've cut to a random spot in the deck. We went from there, you selected a card, we put it back into the middle of the deck, we did face up, face down, but it somehow seems that your card has somehow magically been the 9 of hearts. Now when I say the name David Blaine, you're probably thinking of this guy right here, who's probably one of the best magicians of our time. But did you know that there is a magic trick that fooled David Blaine? And today, I'm going to be showing you how to do that trick. So grab a deck of cards and let's get started. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this card deck a bit of a few cuts like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to allow the spectator to cut off a little bit of cards from the top, like around a third, okay? So around this much. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow them to pick any card from these cards, okay? Let's say they pick this one right here. I'm not going to look at it, okay? So that's the card right there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it in the spectator's hand, so they have it, they keep it, I won't do anything with it. For reference, it'll be right here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to split the deck into 4 different piles, just like this, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to flip over 2 of these piles, and I'm going to shuffle them together up and down, just like this. I'm really mixing up the cards. I can even allow the spectator to kind of push these in as well to really mix up the order, okay? And then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna shuffle these together like that. I'm gonna shuffle these together like this. And now we have a really messed up deck, just like that. And I'm gonna ask the spectator what their suit of their card was, and for this trick, usually you don't do this in the trick, but for this time, since there's no spectator, we'll look at the card. So it is a heart, okay? And I'm gonna put it back, and since it's a heart, I'm gonna snap my fingers, I'm gonna wave my hand over the deck. You can actually see that there are all hearts. All the face-up cards are hearts, and in order too. Ace, 2, 3, 5. Just like this. That means your card is the 4 of hearts, just like that. Now this trick is a fairly simple trick, and what you're gonna do, there is a little bit of a setup, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna take out all the hearts in the deck, kind of like this, and you're gonna put them in order like so. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna put the hearts at the top of the deck, like this. So now your setup is like this, where your hearts are right here, and then the rest of the deck is kind of just random. Doesn't matter what the rest of the deck is, it just matters that all the hearts in order are at the top like this. So for the performance, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take out the deck and you're gonna give this a few false cuts. You can if you want to, or you can leave the deck like this. And if you wanna know any false cuts, check the link right there. So then what you're gonna do is you're gonna ask the spectator to take off a thin portion of the deck, around a third or fourth, okay? So just a little bit, kind of like that much. And what you're gonna do is you're going to then spread out the cards, and you're gonna spread out most of the top cards and leave these kind of out of the way, because there's a good chance that they're not part of the hearts, because all of these are going to be hearts, but then there's going to be some of them that are that won't be. So just put these kind of back here, have them pay more attention to these top ones right here, and have them pick a card from there. Okay, so let's say they pick a card. You're not going to look at it, but for the tutorial we will. So it's the 8 of hearts, okay? And in the trick, it'll always be a heart. And what you're going to do is you're going to give it to them, okay? You're going to have them hold it. This makes for a better effect. Then what you're going to do is you're going to put those cards, those hearts, back on top of the deck. Then what you're going to do is you're going to count out 12 cards, because that's how many hearts there are. And how I like to do this is I like to count them off in 3s. So 1, and then 2, 3, 4. You have 12 like that. Then what you're going to do is you're going to place them right there. And while you're counting that out, you can tell them, I'm going to split these into 4 piles like this. It doesn't matter how thick or thin, how much cards in each of the other 3 in there. Just make sure that there's 12 in here, and that they are all of the hearts. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take the second and the fourth one and you're going to flip them over. Oh gosh. You're gonna flip them over like so. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna riffle shuffle them together like this, up and down. And if you don't know how to riffle shuffle, check the link right there. Then what you're gonna do is you're going to, very important, you wanna flip over this pack like this. And then you're gonna shuffle these very quickly, okay? And the reason why you wanna shuffle them really quickly is because if you shuffle them slow, they can see all of the hearts, kind of like that. So make sure it's pretty fast, and you wanna push them together, and then you're gonna flip them over again, and then you're going to shuffle them just like that. Push them together and you are all set. And what this does to the cards is that it makes all of the face-up cards the first 12 cards of the deck, or in other words, all of the hearts. And so now this is a cool setup that you can use in the trick. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna ask the spectator for the suit, and then they're gonna say heart. So then what you're gonna do is you're gonna snap your fingers, wave your hand all over the deck, do whatever you want, and you're then going to spread out the cards and show the audience that all those cards, those face-up cards, are hearts. And then you're gonna say, but not only that, they're actually in order. Ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. You count up to their card, to the cards, and until you get to a space like 7 and 9. And then you stop right there and say, that means that your card is the 8 of hearts. Just like that. You can put it in there like that. You can show off all the other cards if you want to. And that is basically how that trick works. And it fooled David Blaine. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you an astounding card trick that anyone can do at home right now. So grab a deck of cards and let's get started. So the magician starts out with the audience picking a card. So let's say they pick this card right here. It is the 6 of diamonds, as you can see. And we're gonna put the 6 of diamonds just somewhere in the middle. The audience can choose where to put it in the middle, by the way. And they're gonna put it in the middle. Now the magician is gonna ask what their card was, and they're gonna say the 6 of diamonds. And the magician is gonna say, well, I'm gonna find the 6 of diamonds, I'm gonna grab the card, I'm gonna flip it over in the deck, I'm gonna put it right back. But that'd be too easy, you see. So I'm gonna flip over the top card, snap my fingers, wave my hand over the deck. You can actually see that all the cards flip over except for one card, and that is the 6 of diamonds. So this card trick is really easy, but it does have a setup. The setup is really easy. All you're gonna do is you're gonna grab the bottom 2 cards, you're gonna flip them over and place them back at the bottom again. And now you're ready to do the trick. So you're gonna start off with the audience picking out a card. So let's say they pick this card right here. It is the 10 of hearts. Now while you're showing them the card, what I did in the performance is that I put it up to the camera so you didn't see the deck, because what you're gonna do with the deck is you're gonna flip over the deck while they're not looking. And once the deck is flipped over, this means that there's a bunch of face-up cards in the deck, and so it doesn't really matter where they put it in the deck. It can literally be anywhere. But it looks like that they're putting their card face down in a face down deck. So you're gonna ask for their card and you're gonna say, like, you know, whatever. So in this case, 10 of hearts. And you're gonna say that I could find the 10 of hearts in the deck, I could flip it over in the deck and put it right back in. But that'd be too easy. So you're gonna flip over the top card, and you're gonna say you're gonna snap your fingers, wave your hand over the deck, or whatever you wanna do. And you're gonna spread out the cards, and it looks like it flipped over. Now, beware of the top right here, because the top still has this face down right here. So just to avoid exposing that face down card. And so then you're gonna be like, well, all the cards are flipped over except one, and that is the 10 of hearts. There is a trick that a magician once performed to Bill Gates that totally fooled him. Here's how you do it. Now before we get on the trick and all that stuff, my name is Christian Bates and I perform magic and do other things as well, but mostly magic. If you end up liking this video and you want to watch more magic videos, click the link in the description. Now let's get started with the trick that fooled Bill Gates. Now the deck has started off by having it shuffled. Then the audience will cut the deck in any place. Then they choose which deck they want to play with for the rest of the trick. Let's say this one, for example. So we take this deck. This other one is out of the equation now. Now the magician is gonna look at the cards. He's gonna place a black card on the table and a red card on the table. And he's gonna say, we're gonna make 2 piles, one of red and one of black, but you don't know what the cards look like. So the magician goes through the deck and pulls out a card. The audience tries to guess what color the card is. They say it's black, so we put it in the black. And they keep going. This time there's 2 cards. One could be black, one could be red. They could both be black, or they could both be red. The audience says one of them goes in the red, and one of them goes in the black. Now we have 2 more. This time, the audience says that they both are black. The audience and the magician keep doing this process until... And then at one point, the magician hands the deck to the audience and says, deal them out into whatever pile you think they go to. So that's what the audience does exactly. Keeps dealing and dealing into whatever pile they think that is. The magician then goes over to the black pile and says that you got all of these cards correct. And the magician also says that if you were to keep going, they would still be black, and that these would also be all red. Now, if you're looking for a fun card trick to do that has no setup, this is the kind of the card trick that you're looking for. This card trick has no setup. It literally blows everyone's mind, and it's very easy to do. So let's get into it. So like I said, this is no setup, so you can start with a shuffle deck, or a borrowed deck in that case. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna ask the audience to split it, and you do this, you actually do this, you split it randomly, and then you ask them to choose a deck, and they choose deck, you go with whatever they want. So let's say they go with this deck. So this one's out of the equation. Now with your deck, you're going to put down a red card, and you're gonna put down a black card. And then you're gonna explain, hey, this is a red pile, this is a black pile, but you can't tell which ones are which. I'm gonna guide you through it and such and such. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna look for a red card, and you're gonna hold it up to the audience without showing them, and then ask them what color this card is. If they say black, that's totally fine. Put it in the black section. Now, what you're gonna do is you're going to take 2 more red cards. You're gonna ask them, where do these go? You could say they can both be black, they can both be red, which they are, or they can both be one black and one red. Say that they do one black, one red. So one goes in the red, one goes in the black. And so you keep doing this. So you keep doing this with the audience, okay, until all of the red cards are gone. So let's get to all the red cards being gone. All right, so now we only have black cards. Now this is the part where it kind of gets tricky. So you're gonna pick a card that you'll remember. So I'm gonna pick the Ace of Clubs, and you're gonna hold it up to the audience, and you're gonna be like, what color is this? And then you're gonna say like, this is a special card. And then or something like that. And then if they say red, you're gonna say, well, actually, that's an Ace of Clubs. And then you're gonna put it in the black section. If it's in the black section, you're totally fine. You can just put it right there and the trick goes on. But if they say red, just say, this is black, put it there. That's it. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna say, hey, I want you to just deal out the cards. Deal them out into whatever piles you want. So you're gonna do exactly that. The audience is just gonna put it in randomly. They can put it in whatever. They're all black, so just FYI. And then you're gonna pick up the black pile. It has to be the black pile. And then you're gonna be like, okay, you got all of these correct. And you're gonna deal these down until you get to your memorized card, the Ace of Clubs. Because if you keep going, it'll be a red card and then the trick will be ruined. So then you're gonna distract them for a second. You're gonna be like, you're gonna put that deck to the side and you're like, okay, that's cool and all, but guess what? You're gonna pick up the red deck and then you're gonna very sneakily put it on this deck. And that means that these cards will now be black. It'll look like, and then when you spread them out, they'll look like that these belong in the black pile and these belong in the red pile. There's a magic trick that's been trending a lot lately that has been getting a lot of views, and people just don't know how this magic trick is done. So today I'm going to teach you how to do that magic trick. So grab a deck of cards and let's get started. Now the audience is going to pick a card. It can literally be any card. So let's say they pick this one. It is the Ace of Diamonds. We're going to put the Ace of Diamonds on top of the deck and cut the deck. Now I'm going to snap my fingers, wave my hand over the deck, and you can actually see that if we spread through the cards, you can see that there's a blue card. Now let's take a look at this blue card, and it is none other than the Ace of Diamonds. Now I'm going to put the Ace of Diamonds over here as I shuffle up the deck again so we can make another card selection. And one more time. Alright, so now the audience will tell me when to stop, and let's say they stop right here. And this will be their next card, is a 7 of Hearts. And we're going to flip over the 7 of Hearts again and put it in the middle. And now we're going to snap our fingers, wave our hand over the deck, and you can actually see that the 7 of Hearts changed color too. Oh yeah, that's right, you're actually looking in the wrong spot. You might think it's in the deck, but actually it's right here, because this has changed color and has changed into another card. Now before we keep going on with the video, if you have any questions about how to do any magic tricks or like tutorials or like card shuffles or anything really, please leave something down in the comments. I would be very happy to answer any questions for you. So this is a very easy card trick, but it does have a setup. So what you'll need is a different colored card. So this is a 7 of Hearts, but it has a blue back. And you're also gonna need the other version that is red. So you'll need the 7 of Hearts that is red. You're gonna put the red 7 of Hearts on top of the deck, and you're gonna put the blue 7 of Hearts on the bottom of the deck. You're gonna tell the audience that they can pick a card, and any card. Just make sure you don't reveal that there's a blue card back here. So let's say they pick this card, which is the 6 of Diamonds. Now you're gonna put the selected card on top of the deck, and you're also going to cut the deck like that. And because you cut the deck, as you can see, the blue card is actually right by the selected card, which will be very important here in a minute. And you can do false cuts, and if you want to learn how to do false cuts, just leave something down in the comments, and then you can snap your hands and wave your hand over the deck or whatever you want to do. And then you reveal that there's a blue card in the middle right here. Now this is very important, so listen carefully. What you're gonna do is you're gonna cut the deck so that the blue card is on top. You don't want to take the blue card from the middle of the deck and put it on top, or else that'll ruin the trick. So then what you want to do is you want to do something called a double lift. And the easiest ways to do a double lift is to riffle up the cards until you get to the top 2, and then pull them up as 1. And then you won't do a double lift, you're actually going to grab the 7 of Hearts right here. Now you're going to force the red 7 of Hearts on them, which is actually second from the bottom. So you're going to take the top off of the deck, but you're also going to hold onto the top card, which means that the top card does not come off. And then you're gonna drop cards onto the bottom of the deck until you get to the very last card, which is the 7 of Hearts, and you're gonna put that at the bottom. And then you're gonna do the kind of the same shuffle where you're gonna grab the 7 of Hearts first and no other card, and then shuffle everything on top of that. And then now the 7 of Hearts is on top of the deck. And then what you're gonna do is you're going to tell them to stop anywhere they want. So let's say they stop right here, and then what you're gonna do is you're going to hold on to the top card yet again, and you're going to quickly take the top off of the card, and because you held on to the top of the deck, the 7 of Hearts stays there. Here, let me do that again. So they're going through cards, and they say stop, and then you take the top off like that. And then you're going to reveal to them that the 7 of Hearts is the card that they picked, or that they stopped at, and then you're just going to put it back into the middle of the deck, and you're gonna put the deck down, you're gonna snap, you're gonna do whatever you want to do, and then you're gonna be like, okay, now the 7 of Hearts has changed color. And then they're gonna be kind of confused because, you know, it didn't, and you're also gonna think that you messed up, and then you're gonna be like, wait, and then you're gonna go over to this card, and then you're gonna show them that the 7 of Hearts.
I'm gonna teach you how you can catch any card that you want.
Catch King of Hearts, just like that.
In 5 minutes.
And the way this trick works is really simple, and it's easy for anyone to learn. And yes, for those people in the comments, this is how Card Magic by Jason catches all of his cards that he does in his magic tricks. First, I'll show you the performance of how you do this trick, or if you want to go straight to the tutorial, check out the time right here. So grab a deck of cards and let's get started. So first, I'm gonna give a quick shuffle of the deck. And I'm gonna allow the spectator to cut anywhere they want. Let's say they just cut right here. It doesn't matter. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna riffle through the cards. I'm gonna find a card that I want to catch from the deck. So
I want to catch the, let's do the King of Hearts. All right, so I'm gonna show you there's no breaks in the deck. The King of Hearts is not at the top and it's not at the bottom, okay? So it's nowhere near those places. There's no breaks in the deck, and I'm just gonna catch the King of Hearts just like that. Now, if you ended up liking this video and you want to see more like it, I'd recommend subscribing so you don't miss any of it. Anyway, that's my only call to action. Let's get on with the tutorial. All right, so how this trick works is you're going to take any deck of cards. It can literally be any deck of cards. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna take one card out of the deck and you're gonna make a gimmick out of it. What you're gonna do is you're gonna cut off a little slice right here and a little slice right here. And where you cut them is very specific. You're gonna cut them where the pips are. So like where the 2 is, you're gonna cut those right there. Then what you're gonna do is you're going to take your gimmick card, you can put it anywhere in the middle of the deck. And after that, you're all ready to go. What you're gonna do is you're going to take the deck, you can shuffle it around, mix it up as much as you want. You can have the spectator mix it up, it doesn't matter. Now you can have the spectator mix it up as much as they want, but the key thing that you want to have is that you wanna make sure that your gimmicked card is in the middle. And the best way to see that is that you can actually see the indent right here. And if you see that, that's where the gimmicked card will be. I don't know if you can see that, but the gimmicked card is in the middle somewhere. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna riffle up the cards. And when you do that, what happens is that your thumb stops at the gimmicked card for a second and then keeps going. And what that creates is a little small time to look at the card that you're selecting. And let me show you a backhand view of what that specifically looks like. Now, as you can see here, the indent is right here. And what you're gonna do is you're going to riffle up the cards like this. And when you do, you stop for a brief second at the gimmicked card. And when that happens is when you stop at the gimmicked card, you don't stop directly at it, you actually stop at the card above it. And the card above it is actually the one that you're gonna catch. So you're going to riffle up the deck, you see the card that you're gonna catch, and you keep going. And when you do this pretty fast, you can see it for a brief second, like that, and you'll know which card to catch. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your thumb, and then you're gonna take your ring and then middle finger right here, and you're gonna hold the deck like this, okay? So thumb down here, middle and ring finger kind of up here, and index finger pushing on the deck like this. And what this does to the deck is it allows you to feel when you stop at the gimmicked card. And when you stop the gimmicked card, or when you get to the gimmicked card, you'll feel a stop, kind of like that. See how I stopped right at the 2 of diamonds? So you'll feel a stop right when the 2 of diamonds, or when the gimmicked card comes by. And when you feel that stop, that's when you take your hand and you catch the card like that. Now this will take a bit of practice for you to actually get it down, but when you get it down, it is so worth it. Because what's even better about this trick is that you can even do this blindfolded and you can still be able to do the same effect as this, because it doesn't allow you to see anything, it just allows you to feel the cards. So as long as you're able to feel the cards, you're able to catch any card you want. Kind of like that.
Are you bad at magic tricks? Are you looking for an easy and really good magic trick? Because I have a magic trick that is even easier, and it's probably one of the best magic tricks that has ever been performed. And no, that is not clickbait. I am serious. This is a really good magic trick, and it's also a really easy magic trick too. So you'll be able to follow along very easily. It takes no sleight of hand. It takes no skill to even do, yet it blows everyone's mind. So without further ado, let's get started. Now what I have here is a normal deck of playing cards, and I can even show you each and every individual playing card as they are. It is as simple as that. I can show you the back of the cards, the front of the cards. It does not matter. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna snap my fingers, wave my hand over the deck. You can actually see that I can make all the cards disappear. Literally disappear. And to even show you this even more, I'm gonna riffle through the cards. You can see that it is nothing. It's only blank. All of it is blank. Now, this is probably really weird for you, but all I have to do is snap my fingers, wave my hand over the deck. You can actually see that I can pull out one card from the blank deck. But this doesn't really solve anything, saying that the rest of the deck is still blank. But all I have to do is snap my fingers, wave my hand over the deck. You can actually see that all of the cards have returned back again. Just like that. Now you might think that this is a pretty impossible magic trick, but it's actually fairly simple. And if you know what a Svengali deck is, then you know how to do this trick. Now this is not an ordinary deck. This is actually a trick deck, because in this deck it alternates from normal card to blank, ink, blank, all the way throughout the deck, all the way to the bottom. And you still might be wondering, like, how can I do this then? Well, it's actually fairly simple concept. Now this is a normal card and a blank card. Now if I put them together, you can actually see that one of them, the blank card, is actually longer than the ace of spades. And this is actually very important, and I'll show you why. So what happens is when you riffle them out, you riffle them down like this, right? So you riffle down the blank card, but immediately after that, the next card will drop down. And so this just keeps kind of repeating until you get that visual trick that they are all normal decks of cards. This deck is actually named a Svengali deck. And this Svengali deck is actually kind of special because usually Svengali decks, instead of blank cards, they have one card. Like, for example, the 3 spades. They have the 3 spades, some random card, 3 spades, some random card, 3 spades. But this deck, I actually really like. It does it blank, which actually does for a lot better reaction for the audience. So if you want this specific deck, I've linked a bunch down in the description, so make sure you go check that out. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna present the deck as it is. You can show the back, because the back will be right here, and you'll show the top right here, which will be a normal card like this. And then what you're gonna do is you're going to riffle through the cards. If you don't know how to riffle, if you know how to riffle shuffle, this will actually be very easy for you. So what you do, hold it in this position with your thumb back here, 2 fingers right here, and your index finger on top. You're gonna push with your index finger, and then as you do that, you let go kind of slowly as you, as the index finger pushes the cards down. So you let go with your thumb and fingers like that. And this will take a little bit of practice. It probably took me, I would say, like 10 to 20 minutes. So just keep practicing this, and you will very much get it down very quickly. So then what you're gonna do is you're gonna show off the cards, that they're regular cards and they're very mixed up. You can even show them like this. You can riffle and then spread them out like that, and nothing will happen except if you, on the last card, if you kind of slide it out a bit more, the blank card will show, but you can just quickly kind of push that back to the side, because they won't be focusing on this card, directly. They'll probably be focusing on the rest of the cards. So you can show it off like that. You can riffle it, you can do whatever. Now, here's one thing you don't want to do. You can riffle it from face up, but do not riffle it from the other side. Because if you riffle it from the other side, the exact opposite will happen. All of the cards will show as blank, and you do not want that to happen, trust me. So make sure you riffle it this side up, and it'll show that all the cards look very random. Then you're gonna say something like, all I have to do is snap my fingers, wave my hand over the deck, or something like that. And then you're going to slide this King of Diamonds to the bottom of the deck, just like that. And then you're going to snap your fingers, and then you're going to just push these cards pretty firmly, all around like that, to show that they're all blank. Now, when I say pretty firmly, I do mean pretty firmly, because if you do it too light, the cards will start to show. But if you do it pretty firm, the cards will have a less chance of showing. So you do that, and then what you're gonna do is you can even show the back side like this. And then what you wanna do is, now when you're on the back side, you're actually going to riffle through the cards on the back side like this. And you want to do this because now it looks like all of the cards are blank. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna flip the deck back over. Make sure you remember that. You're gonna flip the deck back over. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna snap your fingers, wave your hand over the deck, and then you're gonna firmly kind of spread out the cards. And as you do this, you're gonna spread to one specific card. You're gonna loosely spread to one part of the deck, and this will create an opening where one card will show. And you want this to happen because then what you're gonna do, you're gonna cut it to the top, and make sure you don't do this, otherwise it'll ruin the whole trick, and you do not want that to happen. So you're just gonna cut it, and then you're going to be like, well, now there's a 7 of diamonds, but the whole deck is still kind of blank. So what you're gonna do then is you're going to snap your fingers, and then you're gonna riffle through the cards again, and it'll look like all the cards are back to normal once again. And the best part about this trick is that you can do this trick over and over and over again, and they still won't suspect anything. Their minds will be still blown away, and the trick will work out just great. In this video, I'm going to be teaching you a no setup, amazing magic trick that you can do at home right now with any deck of cards. So grab a deck of cards and let's get started. The deck is started off by being shuffled. Now the magician is going to ask the audience what value of a card they want to use for this trick. So like a 2 or 3, 5, 7, king, jack, any of that stuff. Now let's say they say like ace or something like that. So we're gonna search the deck for all the aces. So now as you can see, we have all the aces gathered here today, and I'm gonna put them on top of the deck like so, and I'm gonna deal them out. Now I'm gonna take this ace and I'm gonna put it on the bottom, snap my fingers, is actually on the top. I'm gonna put this one on the top, snap my fingers, is actually on the bottom. I'm gonna put this one in the middle, snap my fingers, is actually on the top. I'm gonna put this one in the middle, face down somewhere, snap my fingers, is actually turned around face up, just like that. Now before we keep going on to the video, if you have any questions about any magic tutorials you want me to do, or how to do this trick, or how to do this, something, please leave something down in the comments. I'd be really glad to help you out with it. So this is an incredibly easy trick to do, and it has an incredibly great effect on the audience. So this is a no setup trick, so you can really start out with a shuffled or borrowed deck in that case. And what you're gonna ask the audience is to ask them for a value. Like I said, like a 7 or, any number. So let's say they say like kings. So we would pull out all the kings in the deck. And make sure you put the kings on the bottom, like this. So now you display the kings to the audience like this, right? And now as you're going back to put them on the top, what you're gonna do is you're gonna actually snatch an extra card. Flip the deck over and then put the kings on the top. Now there's 5 cards, and the mystery or the other card, the other random card, is on the top. So now what you're gonna do is you're going to deal down 4 cards, and you're gonna deal down 4 cards because they think it's the 4 kings, right? So now what you have is the random card right here, 1, 2, 3 kings right here, and the 4th king on the top. So now what you're gonna do is you're gonna take this king. You're not gonna show them what king it is, otherwise the trick will be kind of ruined. You're gonna put it on the bottom, and you're actually gonna put it on the bottom, and then you're gonna snap your fingers, and you're gonna say that it traveled up the deck on the top. This is the king that you didn't deal down. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna move on to the next king. You're gonna put that king on the top, snap your fingers, and then say it went to the bottom. And this is the card, this is the king that you just put on the bottom. And then you're gonna put that down. Just say you're gonna put it in the middle. Don't say anything about face up, face down. Don't say anything about that. You're gonna put the king in the middle, and then you're gonna snap your fingers, and you're gonna say, hey, it traveled back up to the top again. And then you're gonna take your mystery card, and then you're gonna put it randomly in the deck, and then this time you're gonna say you're gonna put it face down, and then you're gonna put it in the deck, and then you're gonna snap your fingers, and then you're gonna spread out the cards, and then you're gonna find the king that you put up, face down, earlier on, and it'll look like you magically scrambled up all of the kings around the deck and put them back into their order. Today I'm going to be teaching you a really easy magic trick that is also one of my best magic tricks that I know. So let's get started on with this trick. So to start this magic trick off, we're gonna shuffle. So the magician starts off by asking the audience to pick a card. Let's say the audience picks this card. It is the 5 of diamonds. So with the 5 of diamonds, the magician is going to put it on top of the deck. And he's going to shuffle it in the deck as well. Alright, it's shuffled in there. Now the magician tells the audience that he's going to go through the deck like this. He's going to ask the audience to stop anywhere. And no matter where the audience stops, they're going to stop at their card. So the magician does this and the audience stops right here, okay? And the card that they stopped at was none other than the 5 of diamonds. So this is a very easy trick to do, and it fools everyone, and it's no setup as well, so it's a win-win. You're going to start out with a normal deck. It's shuffled, or you can use a borrowed deck, doesn't matter. And you're gonna ask the audience to pick a card. It can literally be any card. So let's like say they pick this one. It's gonna be the Jack of Spades. So they pick the Jack of Spades, and now what you want them to do is you want them to put them on the top, okay? You're not gonna memorize the bottom card or any of that. You're just gonna have them put it on the top. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna do the sleight of hand where you're gonna take the top, but you're gonna hold on to the top card, which is their card. So you want to hold the deck kind of like this, how I'm holding it, and then you want your fingers to like kind of like wrap around like that. You're going to just take the top off with the top card you're hanging on to, and then you're going to just kind of like shuffle it in. So it's a sleight of hand shuffle where you do the sleight of hand, oh crap. When you do the sleight of hand shuffle, it'll look like you're legit shuffling the deck and the card is still on top. And then you can do some other shuffles, like a riffle shuffle, but you gotta make sure you keep the top card on the top. Now, I did some false cuts in the video, and if you really want to learn how to do them, leave a comment down below. Now, after shuffling the deck and with their cards still on top, you're gonna go through the cards like this, and you're gonna ask them to stop anywhere. And then you can choose to tell them whether or not it's their card they're gonna stop at, but to make a more dramatic appearance, you can say that. So then you're gonna riffle through the cards like this, and whenever they say stop, so let's say they stop right here, you're going to just take up the top, and then you're gonna hold on to the top card, which is their card, and then put this deck to the side, and then you're gonna be like, okay, you stopped here, and guess what? Was this your card? False shuffles. Not only they look cool, but they're also used to make it look like you're mixing up the deck, when in reality, you really aren't. And today, I'm gonna be teaching you 3 false shuffles that you can do at home right now if you follow along. So grab a deck of cards and let's get started. So as you can see here, I have the deck in new deck order, just like that. And if I give this a few cuts, you can actually see that the order does not even change. Now this is a fairly simple false shuffle. It looks pretty hard, but it just combines a few false maneuvers and cuts that you'll easily be able to do. So there's nothing really to worry about this one. So what you're gonna do is you're going to hold the deck like this to your right side. If you're right-handed, you hold on to the right side. If you're left-handed, hold it on to the left side. If you're ambidextrous, pick a hand. But anyway, what you wanna do is you want to swing cut the top right here. And swing cut is where you take your index finger right here. So you have your index finger right here, middle thumb back here. These fingers aren't really doing anything. Then what you're gonna do is you're just gonna take this index finger and just split it off from the pack, just like that. And the reason why you want your fingers over here and not like anywhere else near the deck is because if you had it right over here, it'll be very hard for that deck to come around the middle finger if you try to swing cut that. It's a lot harder and it puts more strain on your hands. So do it on the corner right here, swing cut, you're all good to go. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take this pack with your index and thumb like this, okay? And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna swing cut again, okay? So now you're here. So once again, you swing cut and make sure it's a third of the pack. I forgot to tell you that. Make sure that's a third of a pack. You're gonna take it, you're gonna swing cut half of this little pack right here. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take not this one, but this one under here, like that, and make sure it's diagonal. Kind of like diagonal to the other deck. Because then what you're gonna do is, if you can see that, you're gonna come over and take this with your ring finger. And then with your index finger, you're gonna come over and pull this out like that. Here, let's do that. Let's do that one more time. So what you do is you swing cut, take, swing cut, take, like that. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna come over with this one, you're going to grab it with your thumb, and then you're gonna pivot it into your hand just like that. It's hard to do it pretty slow, so after you do it a bit, you can keep doing it pretty fast. Again, so what you do is you swing cut, take this swing cut, take this one like that, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna swivel it into this hand and then put the rest of the deck on top, just like that. And what you have is new deck order, or the order that you started out with in the first place. So I have the deck in new deck order, and I'm just gonna give this a few cuts, just like this. And as you can see, it is still in new deck order, just like that. Now this one is just a little bit harder, but it uses the kind of the same techniques from the last false cut, so you don't need to worry about any new ones. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna swing cut again, make sure it's a third of the pack. You're gonna take this, swing cut again, and instead of taking this part, you're gonna actually, with your ring finger, you're gonna take it with your thumb, with your ring finger like that. So now you have it like this. So you're gonna swing cut, take, swing cut, ring finger, and then what you're gonna do is you're going to swivel it into your hand, just like this. And as you're swiveling it, what you're gonna do is you're gonna put your ring finger down a bit, and you're gonna slip it in between, if you can see that, slip it in between your fingers just like that. Like that. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna raise this up like this. You're gonna swivel this into your hand. You're gonna put, whoa, dropping cards here. You're then gonna put this pack down like that, and then you're gonna put the rest on top, and it'll stay in new deck order. And one more look at that, you're going to swing cut, take, swing cut, put this to the ring finger, and then you're with your other ring finger, you're gonna put it under the deck while the other fingers go over. You're gonna go up, swivel, down, like that, and put the rest of the cards on top, just like that. And you will have new deck order just like that. Now the next one is a little bit harder as well, and this is actually not a cut, this is actually a riffle shuffle. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the cards, I'm gonna shuffle them together just like this, and I'm going to just cut the deck like that. You can see that it is still in new deck order. Now from the back, this riffle shuffle, false riffle shuffle will not really look that convincing, but from the front view, it'll look a lot better. Now I did mess up a little bit, and this will take a bit of practice to make perfect, but it usually works when you get it down pretty well. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna split the cards in half, and if you know riffle shuffle, then skip to the time right here. If you don't know how to riffle shuffle, this is how you riffle shuffle. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take these two halves of the deck like this. What you're gonna do is your hands are gonna be identical, okay? So whatever this hand's doing, this hand's gonna do the same thing, okay? So what both of your hands are gonna be doing is that your middle fingers are up here, ring fingers, thumbs down here, with your index finger pushing like that, okay? Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna come over, and what you're gonna do with your thumbs is you're gonna riffle them like that, okay? And when you do that together, right by each other, the riffle together, just like that. Now what you want to start practicing is you want to start practicing riffle shuffling and putting this card right here under this pack right here. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna start pushing them in and push them in diagonally like this, okay? Then what you're gonna do is you're going to come over here, and with your fingers, you're gonna come put them together so the audience doesn't really see them a lot. You're gonna push them diagonally like that, make it look like you push them in, but then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take this very quickly, and then put it on top, and then it'll look like they're shuffled, but in reality, they are not. So let's do that once again. Break them apart, riffle shuffle them together. Make sure this one is under here. You're gonna push them together diagonally like that. Then you're gonna push them back straight like this. Then you're gonna take this pack right here, put it on top, and they are back in, oops, I made a mistake, but they should always be back in new deck order. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching one of my best magic tricks that you can do with literally any card, and it gets such a killer reaction. So grab a deck of cards and let's get started. So I'm going to start out by shuffling the deck. For the rest of this trick, we're going to be using the Ace of Spades, and I'm going to put the Ace of Spades back into the middle of the deck. You can see it is going in there. Now my fingers is actually right here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put it straight into the middle of the deck, as you can see, going in there. But if I snap my fingers, you can actually see it just rises up to the top again. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend the card a bit and put it back into the middle so that we know where it is in the deck, if you get what I mean. Or put it back in the middle. And if you watch closely, if I snap my fingers, you can actually see that it visually rises back up to the top again. So you can start out by shuffling the deck as much as you want. It does not matter. Now you don't have to use the Ace of Spades, but there will be a different way to perform this trick if you do use another card. So if you're gonna allow for a spectator selection, what you're gonna do is you're going to just you're gonna spread out the cards and tell them you can tap on any card. Remember to say tap, don't say select, say tap or something like that. And then let's say they tap like on this one right here. What you're gonna do is you're gonna grab it and then put it on the top right here, like that. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna do something called a double lift, where you take two cards instead of one. And it's very easy to perform. What you have to do is you just riffle up the cards until you get up to the top two cards, like that. And then you kind of bring them together to flip it over and raise your card. And then to flip it back over again, all you gotta do is grab the edge right here and then just flip it over and that's it. So you're gonna tell them that you're gonna flip the card back over again. Then you're going to put it in the middle. And then you're gonna snap your fingers and then the card rises to the top again, which in reality was there the entire time. So then what you're gonna do is you're going to just, say you're gonna put it straight into the middle, like this, but instead what you're gonna do is you're gonna get a really big pinky break under the top card like this. And to do that, you're just gonna bend up the top card like that, and then just keep your pinky right there and have it up like that. And then with their card, you're going to poke around the deck, making it look like it's going inside, and then you're gonna put it right under the top card, which is second from the top. Make it look convincing, just push it in, and then you're gonna snap your fingers and then do another double lift, and then it looks like their card rose up back to the top again. And then you're gonna say you're gonna bend the card, and you're gonna do this, you're gonna bend the card, and then you're gonna flip it back over, and then you're gonna grab the top card, which isn't their card, but it's also the card that you bent along with theirs, which is on the top, and then you're going to put that card in the middle somewhere. And while you're putting the bent card under there, you're going to hold, with your fingers, you're gonna hold the card that's bent down with your fingers like this. And then after you're done with putting that random card in the deck, you're gonna tell the audience to watch very closely, and then you're gonna snap your fingers and then let go of the card at the same time. And it looks like the card visually rose back up to the top again. And a good way to make this trick look more great is to have a prediction for their card, because at the beginning of the trick, what you did is you have them tap on a card, right? And then you would put that card up on top. Then you would do a double lift, revealing the four of diamonds, which isn't the card that they actually select. In reality, they selected the six of hearts. So theoretically, what you could do is you could have the four of diamonds preset on top of the deck. You can just have them tap on any card, and then you can put it on the top, do a double lift, and then according to your prediction, that's the card that they selected. Now, if you want to see a really crazy trick that David Blaine performed in front of Jeff Bezos, then I would recommend clicking on this video right here, where I tell you a really insane trick that you can do right now that fooled Jeff Bezos. It is the most craziest tricks I've probably ever done to people. And it's so easy to learn. So I would recommend checking that out. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day.
So as you can see here, I have the 4 aces ready to go, just like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this top ace on the pack right here, the ace of diamonds. I'm going to put it on the bottom. You can actually see it disappears, only to reappear once again. I'm going to take this ace, the ace of hearts, put it on the bottom. Disappears, reappears, just like that. I'm going to take this last ace, or the second to last ace, ace of clubs, disappear, reappear, just like that. Now you might think that this ace, or this last card, is the ace of spades, right? Well, actually, you're wrong. It's the joker. And the actual ace is right here, in between these 3 aces, the ace of spades. Today, I'm going to teach you how to do a breathtaking trick that'll only take you a few minutes to learn. And if you ended up liking this video, I'd recommend subscribing so you don't miss out on any more magic videos like this one. Anyway, let's learn how to do this amazing magic trick. Alright, so for this trick, all you need is 5 cards. You need the aces right here, or any 4 of a kind of a card that you want to use, and another card that's not these cards. So 4 aces, and I would recommend a joker because it makes for the best effect in my opinion. Now you're going to put this in a very specific order, which goes from the 2 reds to the clubs, and then finally the ace of spades, which in my opinion, again, it makes for a better effect. But if you don't want a really better effect and you just want to do the trick, I just recommend just clumping them all together and calling it good. But if you really want to make a good effect, here is how you do that. What you're first going to do is you're going to take these 2 aces right here. They're going to be on opposite ends. So this ace will be on one end and this ace will be on the other. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take the ace of spades and you're going to put the ace of clubs on top of the ace of spades, like that. So the ace of spades is on the bottom while the ace of clubs is on the top. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take one of your aces, you're going to put it on the bottom, take one of the aces, put it on top, and there you go. Now after you have the 4 aces ready to go, what you're going to do now is you're going to take the joker and you're going to put it all the way at the bottom, just like that. And after you have that set up, you're ready to do the trick. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the aces, and you're not going to just spread them out as you normally do. You're going to do it in a very specific way so you don't show the joker. What you're going to do is you're going to take your middle finger, your thumb, put it on top. You're going to take your index finger and then push down just a bit so the cards won't riffle out and stuff. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take your thumb right here on your other hand. You're going to slide this one off. You're going to slide that one off, slide that one off, and don't slide that one off, otherwise it'll show the joker. But just put it on top of the ace of spades, and then you can show the back, you can show the front, and you can just say I have the aces, and you're going to then square it all up, flip it over, and you're going to say we're going to deal with the first ace, which is the ace of diamonds. You're going to take the top card from here, ace of diamonds, right? And then what you're going to do is you're going to put the ace of diamonds on the bottom of the deck, and then you're going to do what you did while showing the cards. You're going to take your middle index thumb at the back. You're going to then slip off cards until you get to the last one. Don't slip it off, otherwise it'll reveal the ace of diamonds, and it'll look like the ace of diamonds just vanished. You're going to square them all up again, and then you're going to take this top card off this time, and then now the ace of diamonds appears. You're then going to put it off to the side, and then you're going to take the card that you have in your hand showing off the ace of diamonds. In this case, it'll be the ace of hearts. And then you're going to do the same thing with the ace of hearts that you did with the ace of diamonds. You're going to put the ace of hearts on the bottom like that. You're going to slide them off like that, show that it's gone, square them back up, slide this one off, and then put that ace right there. And then the one that you're holding, that you revealed to show the ace of hearts, you're going to flip that over. It's going to be the ace of clubs. You're going to put it on top very quickly. Do that, just like that. And now the ace of clubs will actually have the ace of spades on the back. So just you're going to put it down with the other aces. Now the audience will obviously think that this is the ace of spades. So what you're going to do is you're going to say, I know you think that this is the ace of spades, but actually it isn't. And you're going to snap your fingers
you can reveal that it's the Joker, just like that. And then you can wave your hand over the ace of clubs for more effect, and then reveal that the ace of spades has traveled, just like that. Good job. You made it through a whole compilation of me just yabbering about, or maybe you just skipped to the end to see if there was anything cool, I guess. But anyway, thank you for watching this video. If you want to see any more compilations like that, click on the link right there. There's probably a video right there that I linked out. There's also a secret message in that video. So if you're looking for a scavenger hunt, recommend watching that video.